with Rare Beauty, because nothing had been done, it was truly like the first time I met Selena and sat down with her, such a wonderful human, just disarmingly kind and purposeful and really wanting to make a difference. And when she spoke, and I remember we were going back and forth, and I was like, Selena, why do you want to do this? And she said, I want to create, she used these words. Watch me have messed it up. Okay, she said, I want to create a lane in the beauty in the industry where men and women feel welcome. And I hadn't heard anything like that before. And I thought that's so true to her. Community is so core to her and central to her as a person. And she has such honest and authentic conversations with her community, as much as every brand throws around the word authenticity, authentic. But it was so much so that it's almost become trite. But in these instances, there's no better word to describe it, because she truly is just that. And when she said the word welcome, I thought, that doesn't feel like anything else. That really feels different. And so we built Rare Beauty, and as we continued to talk about it, and she herself has been so personally open and honest about her mental health journey, and how she said she wanted to create the space where people feel welcome and feel supported, and that how can a brand do that and then make you feel good? And do you feel good whether it's the type of content that we're putting out that makes you feel welcome, like images that make you feel like you belong, or words that are subtle reminders of positivity or positive, things to uplift, or things like everything that we do with Rare Impact, which Rare Impact is the part of the company that is dedicated to making a difference in the world. And is that sharing conversations around mental health, educating around mental health, educating around trusted resources, and starting conversations around positive self-worth. And I think what is true and authentic to Selena, to Rare Beauty, that is who she is. That is what you talk to her for an afternoon, that is what you experience. And so she really wanted to make sure her ethos was echoed throughout the brand. And she's done a great job. Like, she's been a wonderful person to work with to do just that.
Which is not necessarily the perception of like a lot of celebrities, right? So, when you get, I think the, likelihood of not being as friendly once you cross 100 million fans increases, right? Like,
she's the coolest.
It's pretty cool she's maintained to that.
She is the coolest.
And then I would imagine from a mental health perspective, that idea of like feeling good, right? Making people feel welcome.
Yeah.
It's just particularly if you look at any of the data over the last year or so and the way that the pandemic has affected mental health, it's like it was already a big issue before you guys got into this. And then, it's gotten so much worse.
So we started working on our, like, sort of the mission of the brand and crystallizing sort of what it is. And we knew we wanted to do something within mental health. And we started that in fall of 2019. And as mental health is multifaceted. And when we said, okay, what do we want? What can we really do to make an impact as a brand? When we looked at sort of the concept of loneliness and how it often is the beginning of many other things, and that back to what Selena said about wanting people to feel welcome, and then knowing how we can create community, create a trusted brand, not just create a trusted brand, but create community, not just brand to community member, but community member to community member. And I can talk to you a little bit about how we did that. But that felt to us like a real space that felt authentic to the brand, like that a brand could really do that, to create that connectivity. And so that's where it came from. And then, lo and behold, we're in the worldwide pandemic, and loneliness is more apparent than ever. So one of the things that we set out to do, so we announced the brand in January of 2020. We announced that the brand was coming, but because with the intent, Selena wanted to sort of pull the curtain back and bring people along as we built the brand, because she said, listen, I'm doing this not for my community, but with the community. And that's, I was like, you're right. You are. So that's why you want them to feel welcome.
Not everybody
you want
does it that way, though. That's obviously, I mean, that's really similar to the way that Mariana Hewitt talked about Summer Fridays.
Oh, that's
it was
cool.
like, I'm like doing this like almost on behalf of the community, right?
Yeah,
like we're doing this together.
Yeah. Well, when we think about the mental health work that we do, so much of it is for them. Like, it's educating, it's understanding the resources that are out there for them. It's not to help someone else. It's truly to give back to them. But anyway, so one of the things to sort of create community and connection, we said, let's do a community call and let's do a campaign. As the chief marketing officer, I'm like, how great would it be to have our community in one of our first launch campaigns? Mm-hmm. But even more so, kind of walk the walk of what we're talking and get them to meet one another. What if we could actually get our community to meet in person? And yes, of course, get these great images, but then also really even more so, create new friendships. Like, how often do you really meet new friends? So we did this thing called a community casting call, and or a community call, not community casting call, community call. But we said, we want to hear your story. We want to hear why you're rare. We want to see what you look like. It's really about your story, because we want to celebrate your story. We did a call to action, send in your story, whatever. We had 150,000 within 3 days. 50,000 people visit our site. 21,000 people actually send in their story. And I thought, are we going to get real story? Like, is this going to be, what are we going to get? You never know.
Yeah, of course.
But we got amazing, wonderful, open, honest stories of people sharing why they were rare. And this was January, February, something. And so we started reading through them, but we didn't, then COVID hit. So we had to postpone the whole event concept, bringing them together, which was the pits, obviously. And I would like to bring it back, but I don't know when, and still resume what we were trying. But in the meantime, we thought, we have no playbook. What are we supposed to do in a pandemic? So we postponed the shoot and flying people to Los Angeles. But what we did do was then leverage these 21,000 people and just started picking people at random and started talking to them on Zoom. And every week, almost every week since March of last year, so for about a year, we have been having these things, we call them rare chats. And there's about 8 or 10 people per chat, and we've gotten to know our community. And it's invigorating for the team. It's fun to just have open and honest conversations with your community, to hear what they're doing. What are you watching? Things like, what are you watching on Netflix, to like, how are you feeling, to not just like, what do you want to see from Rare Beauty? We could, sometimes we talk about that, but it's not like it's really truly a two-way conversation. And what I love is that they have become friends with one another, because I see it on Instagram. I see them talk to each other, and now we know who they are. So when I see my Texas Queen comment on Instagram, I know that that's Victoria. Or when I see Tuscany Amos, like, I know Jana Ann. Like, I actually know
who these people are. Like, the comments, like, who is this commenter? It's not just some handle.
I've met them, we've talked to them, or they know the team, or they know Katie or Grace or Ashley or Amani. And that has been cool.
Well, it's rewarding. I'm such a broken record on this topic, but like, that's the magic of the internet, right? I can be sitting here in California and have conversations with my customers all around the world, one-to-one, in a way that's meaningful, at scale, right? Like, you can just do that, and you never were able to do that before.
No.
And that's just such a powerful tool that's totally underutilized.
Yeah. So we've really been able to foster community, and Selena's joined a few of the calls, and it's just been awesome.
I can imagine people freak out when Selena's on there. That probably goes over pretty well.
Oh my God, they do. But she is, God, I mean, it makes my eyes well, because they say to her, you see me, like, you hear me. And it's true. It's like, she has this superpower of seeing people's inner beauty. And I've watched it in person. It's pretty magical.